favorite. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Next, I am very privileged to introduce one of our local doctors who is very, very familiar with the health care bill and the fight that we're having for our medical rights. Dr. Jack Cassell is a Mount Dora urologist who is watching Congress in frustration, watching them pass these bills without caring about patients and without caring about the medical profession. The famous sign on his practice door, "If you voted for Obama, seek medical care elsewhere." Changes to your health care begin right now, not in 4 years. And of course, Dr. Cassell's exercise of his First Amendment rights have made him a target of our favorite congressman, but I'll let him talk about that. So I'm privileged to announce, here's Dr. Cassell.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me here today. You know how I feel about Obamacare. I'm like really, really angry. And we're going to get it repealed, but today I'd just like to poke a little fun at Alan, if that's okay. Okay. Sorry, Big Al, but the doctor is in. Okay? I'm going to kind of limit my remarks to Mr. Grayson because Kosmas so far hasn't tried to ruin my life, so I'll just stay clear of her. I had a chance to Google search Big Al, and I went right to his congressional website, and it's very, very informative. I recommend it highly. You get to really understand this guy. Interestingly, I'm not going to talk about his children all that much, but I would really like you to know what he named them. This gives you some insight into this guy. Sky, Star, Sage, Storm, and Stone. I kid you not. This is what he named them. Alan, is there no end to your cruelty? I mean, you know, these are kids. Pick on somebody your own size. Of course, you might have to go to an endocrinologist waiting room to find somebody that big. But, you know, the guy, I guess we have a new working diagnosis for him now, one too many hits of blotter acid. We can maybe rename Alan Congressman Moonbeam. That's more like it, but he's a total piece of work. The more I learn about him, he's like Steven Seagal plus or minus a few chromosomes. Okay. Reading from his bio, did you know that Alan was a very sick child and his mother took him to the hospital 4 times a week for treatment, and that without health care coverage, he would have died? So where's Obamacare when you need it, folks? That would have been helpful, huh? Alan Grayson went to Harvard undergrad. He went to Harvard Law School. And then he went ahead and got a PhD in government studies. This guy is living proof that education is overrated. He got his master's thesis on gerontology, which is the study of aging. And he started something called the Alliance for Aging Research. And the motto for this organization is living to 100 and loving it. Isn't that exciting? What are the chances of living to 100 with Obamacare? That's like the chances I'm not going to get an IRS audit next year. Alan gravitated towards important questions of how government spends taxpayers' money. Did you know that? Yeah, he did. And the answer was every way you can. Then he went into the field of government contract law and represented all these whistleblowers. So he was actually a lawyer for snitches. This is how he made all of his dough. He was waging a one-man war against contractor fraud in Iraq. And I know we all sleep so much better at night knowing that there's less contractor fraud in Iraq. How about a little congressional fraud? In closing, I just want to say that, you know, the guy is a disgrace. We deserve a lot better than that, and we really, really need to get him out of office in November. You know, he only won by a couple %, so I'm really, really hoping that we bring him back here and let him live in Orlando so we can see him in restaurants and boo him. Okay, thank you very much.